Hi everyone, it's Saturday morning, it's 8 o'clock, I'm in between clients. I thought I'll do a little live video for you, something different today, a bit more on the personal training side. Decided to do this video after I got my results yesterday, got my blood test results, private blood test that I've done. As many of you know, I test myself regularly. I've been following a version of a ketogenic diet, which is a bit more restrictive, zero carbs, so it's mainly meat and fish, pretty much, and nothing else, and water, of course, and green tea. This is month 6. I did the result in month 3, and then following the study, 90-day study run by Shawn Baker in the States, and this is month 6 results. Just checking up on, obviously, because you can't just after 3 months decide that that's it. You know, you need to keep on monitoring to make sure it's still suitable for you. And that made me think about, you know, it'd be nice to have a, you know, updated. There's a lot of people who've been following, you know, my journey with the ketogenic and zero carb diets, but also it'd be nice to talk about self-care, you know, which is very much part of what, you know, this whole journey is. So first of all, I want to say is an amazing result from the blood test I've got is that when I first started my journey with ketogenic life, as well as the zero carb diet recently, I never had a problem with cholesterol. Yeah, my only issues has always been my thyroid, underactive, because part of it was removed, but apart from that, no other major issues. My cholesterol has always been very fine. All my other markers have always been very fine. Never had a problem with diabetes or anything like that. The interesting part is, for the last 6 months, I've actually been eating saturated fat and protein. That's it, you know, meat and fish, that's pretty much it. You will think that after 6 months my cholesterol will be shooting up sky high. The very interesting part is not only has it gone sky high, is my triglycerides have dropped from 1.38, which is within the range, to 0.44 in 6 months of pure, you know, meat and fish diets. And my HDL, which is the good cholesterol, you know, the one that scoops up all the nastiest little cholesterol, is gone from 2.59, which is well above the range, you know, very, very high, which is what you want anyway, because I exercise a lot, to 3.8. I mean, it's, you know, ridiculously high. What it means is basically that it's protecting me from, you know, from damage to the heart and with high cholesterol. And my LDL, which is the not so good cholesterol, which was just within parameters before, is now back in the middle of range. So why am I telling you this? You know, not because you really, you know, need to know about my cholesterol level. Sorry, I'm gonna put this one down, otherwise I can't see anything here. But is because I'm trying to prove a point. The general idea out in the, you know, in the world, if you like, is that if you suffer from high cholesterol, then you should have a low-fat diet. Well, I'm proof, like many other people that are following ketogenic diets, that is not true. Yeah, so I've been living on a fat and protein diet for the last well, year and a half, but even more so for the last 6 months when you go, you know, with the carnivore diet. And my cholesterol, all the markers have come down, and the only marker that's gone up is the good cholesterol, the HDL. So what I'm trying to tell you here is not that everybody's going to go start on a fat diet. Please do not do that, because it's not suitable for everyone. What I'm trying to tell you is, do not take what you're told as the absolute truth. We are all different. There is not one diet that will suit everyone. Oh, hi Shy, hi Sorrow. So just seeing you guys are live as well. Well, thank you. Come on board here. Listen, if you hopefully you get some help from this. As I was saying, oh, Carrie's on in as well. Hi Carrie. Is, you know, there isn't a diet that suits everyone. There isn't a diet that fits all. We're all different. For example, I did a DNA test recently, well, recently, a couple of years ago, and that brought up the fact that I don't cope very well with carbohydrates. What it means is that my body can't utilize carbohydrates as it should. So for energy, I tend to store them, which means I put on weight very easily with carbohydrate, but it also means that I get hungry very quickly. And my body works better on fat and protein. That's why I went ketogenic, and then eventually I went on carnivore diet. You know, I'm experimenting what works better for me. Yeah. But I've had other people tested, clients have been tested, and my sister was tested as well, and the results are totally different. You know, they don't do better on carbohydrates, and they do quite so well on fats. So, you know, the bottom line for this is there is no one size that fits all. So you want to know what works for you, you have to test. And you can test with blood tests, you can do DNA testing. These days, these tests are not expensive. You can do them. But the most important thing is that you need to be self-aware. You need to be aware what your health is like. You need to understand what you're looking for. You need to, I didn't understand all this stuff. You know, it's only when I got so ill with underactive thyroid and my gut was screaming at me, and I was following a vegetarian diet for 29 years thinking that was the best thing for me, and I loved it, you know, but the reality, I was hungry all the time, I was feeling tired all the time, my gut was screaming at me all the time, my thyroid was all over the place, my estrogen was sky high. It wasn't working for me, so something had to change. So I tested and I found out, okay, your body does respond well with carbohydrates, so I said, let's try a different diet, different approach. My hormones are back to balance. You know, my thyroid, I halved my thyroid medication since being on ketogenic a year and a half. And my estrogen has literally dropped down, you know, from being estrogen dominant, it was affecting all sorts of things, to being, well, estrogen is well below now. And as I say, my cholesterol levels is all, you know, dropped down despite being on a high fat and protein diet. So the bottom line here is you need to find out what works for you. Yeah, so please do not listen to people tell you this is how you do it, this is how you diet. No, the human body is built of many genes. We all have a similar type of gene, but we all have different variations of these genes. How your body reacts to food, how your body reacts to stress, how your body reacts to your lifestyle is unique to you. What works for you will not work for someone else. So you have to find out what works for you. How do you find out what works for you? Blood test. Yeah, so you, unfortunately, you go to the doctors will only test you for standard things. They do not, you know, want to test you for extra things. I'll give you an example. I had to diagnose myself as suffering from Hashimoto. After many years of underactive thyroid problems, we couldn't work out where we had to increase the medication all the time. It wasn't working, and, you know, the doctor did what they thought to do, which is give medicine. There's a problem, there's a pill, off you go, good luck to you. I wasn't happy with that. I wasn't feeling like crap all the time. Yeah, so I had to decide, okay, educate myself, research, why am I feeling like that, what affects the thyroid. All of a sudden I come out with this word Hashimoto, which is the autoimmune disease linked to the thyroid. So body's attacking my thyroid. So I went to the doctor, can you test me for that? Oh, there's no need to test for that. You know, we got medication, just get on with it. So I said, well, no, you know, quite frankly, I said, get lost. You know, that's not good enough for me. So I then found out how I could get private tests. I did blood tests for the antibodies, thyroid antibodies, Hashimoto antibodies, and lo and behold, they were sky high. So I went back to the doctor, said, well, look at this, I got Hashimoto. Well, so that's a big deal. You know, it's autoimmune disease, nothing you can do with that. And I go, well, there's got to be something you can do. This is what caused the thyroid problem. I even went to the endocrinologist, and she told me the same. Well, you can't cure Hashimoto, just take the levothyroxine medication. And I said, no, I mean, this is ridiculous. It's an autoimmune. I suffer from celiac. That's an autoimmune. And the way to stop that triggering, you know, attacking my intestine is to not to eat gluten. So there's got to be something that works with Hashimoto as well. It's just ridiculous, you know. And I researched it. There's a lot of information online. There's a lot of research on thyroid and Hashimoto, especially in the States, more so in the States than it is over here. And it's incredible what you can find, obviously, if you look at reputable sources. And I found that actually Hashimoto, as it is an autoimmune disease, you can control it with food. There's trigger foods. You avoid those trigger foods and the body stops attacking your thyroid and destroying it and causing more problems. And I said, okay, find out the trigger food, apply the diet, remove the trigger food, which funny enough, we're all in the vegetarian diet, unfortunately. I'm not saying vegetarian diet is not good for you, but if you suffer from autoimmune, just be aware that a lot of the trigger food for autoimmune disease are part of vegetarian diet because they're all plant-based. Yeah, unfortunately, with some animal, but a lot of plant-based. So just be aware of that. I made the changes, and lo and behold, now my medication of thyroid is halved, almost on track. My cholesterol is the lowest it's ever been. And I'm eating all the things the doctor told me not to eat, which is high fat, moderate protein, and no carbs or very little carbs. You know, the diet recommendation in the UK are 55% carbohydrate, 35% fat, and the rest is protein. Now, the body has two fuel sources, yeah? It is fat and carbohydrate. So your body will not use protein for fuel. The body uses protein for repairing your muscles, for your ligaments, for your hormones. So the proteins are needed for everything. So you must make sure you have enough protein in your diet, but don't go overboard like bodybuilders. There's no need, unless you're training like an idiot, like me. You don't need to have huge amount of proteins. You know, just that's adequate amount of protein. And then your choice is, do I want to work on carbohydrates or do I want to work on fat? So what works better for my body? Well, the answer to that is you got to find out. My body does not like carbs, doesn't work well with carbs, so it works better with fats and protein, hence ketogenic diet, hence carnivore diet, more strict ketogenic diet. But somebody else may actually have a reaction to fats. I mean, if you got no gallbladder, it's been removed, if you know, having a high diet is going to give you lots of problems, you know. So you need to find out what works for you. And there's two ways you find out what works for you. Oh, hello, Mark. Hello, Darren. Hello, Monica. Lots of people popping on. Hello, Paul. And the way you find out what works for you is either try and error. So you start eating, for example, high carbohydrate diet, low fat diet, and see how that works. Depending on what your goal is weight loss, it's just to feel better, it's to stabilize your hormones, you know, you find out. And if that doesn't work, you know, try that for 6 months, see, you have to record what's going on. If that doesn't work, then try the other way, high fat, low carb, moderate protein, and again, record what's going on. If you don't want to wait 3 months to find out how it works, and you're worried that you might feel sick, you know, if the diet doesn't work for you, then you can do a DNA test. You know, DNA test is a simple mass swap. These days you can get them very easily. If you don't know where to go, just let me know. I do provide DNA testing for my clients, so I can hook you up and with DNA testing. Or you can do blood test. Blood test will tell you what's wrong with you now. So your cholesterol level, your liver, your kidneys function, all the kind of stuff, thyroid function, those you need to know, because if you got any of those things out of whack, then any diet changes you make will not have the effect you want. You need to stabilize your body before you can start seeing changes, you know, properly. But it is all about finding out what works for you. It's not about that diet work for that person, therefore it's going to work for me. It will not. Yeah, so do not waste your time. And the more diet you try, the more things you do that don't suit your body, the more you're gonna mess it up. The more metabolic damage you cause, and the more metabolic damage you cause, the harder it is for the body to, you know, to repair itself. You know, and the longer it's gonna take. So, what I want to tell you today is, you know, you need to be aware of your health. You need to be aware of what's going on in your body, and there's various ways you can do that. As I say, your blood test, you need to, I monitor everything, yeah? So the people know me, they know me a little bit OCD when it comes to monitoring things. I'm a gadget person. You know, funny enough, I'm useless when it comes to technology most of the time, but I'm a gadget person. I've got things I do not every time I train in the gym, I will use a Polar watch to train, because that's the only one I found is 100% reliable when it comes to telling me the heart rate zone I'm in, when the loading I'm putting on me, what recovery rate I need. So because I specialize in fitness, and that's what I use, and that tells me how hard I'm going on my workout, is it right for me, and that's it. So then I monitor my other parameters, so my blood pressure, my breathing rate, my heart rate, my ECG, with the Hilo, which most of you have heard about that as well, so if you follow me, and that does continuous monitoring 24/7, 365 days a week, and it gives me a report of what's happening with my blood pressure and everything, and that I know that if there's any issues, then I can address them immediately. And then also monitor my heart rate variability, and the heart rate variability is done through a ring. This one looks like a ring, exactly gadget. And heart rate variability is particularly important. It's becoming more and more important in the sports world, because it tells you how stressed your body is. So, and this mainly relies on reading at night, so during the sleep time, and it monitors your how your beats of your heart are, how regular or irregular they are. So that's the variability of the heart rate, and the temperature. And based on that, it will tell you whether you are rested enough, so whether you should take it easy the following day or whether you should go for it. So if you had a restful night and your body is not stressed, then your temperature is the right place and everything, it will tell you, okay, go for it. So the following days you can really go and have a really tough workout. If it tells you, you know, you haven't had a very good restful night, or your heart rate variability is a bit on the low side, maybe, you know, take a little bit easy today. It won't tell you to stay in bed. It will basically say, just, you know, don't push yourself too much and everything. And that's, again, is about working with your body. I used to have a set plan for my workout. This day I do this, that day I do that, that day I do that. Regardless how I felt, I will go there and push myself and do it. I've learned you have to listen to your body. So the tools I use help me to confirm the way I feel. Because if I wake up in the morning and I know I'm not feeling right, you know I can feel I'm not feeling right. I'm not that, you know, don't need the tool to tell me, a gadget to tell me, but the gadget just confirms what I'm already feeling. And is the same with diet. The diet, I knew many years ago that when I was having a bowl of porridge for breakfast, within an hour I was absolutely ravenous. I was starving, like I hadn't eaten anything. I could have a plate of pasta and I was starving, and you know, everybody was telling me you should be full, but no, I'm not full. I'm having a huge plate here and I'm not full. Why is it not working? Then I found out DNA test told me your body does not process carbohydrate the way it should. You know, it stores them, doesn't use them properly, doesn't optimize them, and then you need to have a more, you know, high fat, moderate protein and low carb diet, and that works better for you. And that confirmed what I knew. I didn't know there was an issue, but I knew the carbohydrates weren't working for me. So you need, you don't need. My advice is, do not take what people tell you as the given, the rule. I know we are living in a world where we've got everything at our disposal. There is no excuse not to be self-aware, not to listen to your body, not to find out, educate yourself on what you can do to better your health, to better your life, you know, your lifestyle and everything. It's unfortunately, if you just rely on what doctors tell you, you will only get half, you know, of the truth. You know, everybody knows, you know, doctors are under pressure at the moment. They will only test the bare minimum, and they're not, to be honest with you, they're not knowledgeable on, of all things. They're not knowledgeable on nutrition. They only taught nutrition 3 hours in a space of, you know, 4 years of training. 3 hours of nutrition, what, like 20 years ago. Nutrition 20 years ago, nutrition today is totally different. You know, it's totally different. The end result, look at it. The guidelines for the UK, 55% carbohydrate, 35% fat, the rest is protein. Where are we? With an epidemic of obesity and type 2 diabetes. So that's not working. And it's only started to come out now that most of the, where the fat was given, you know, being the culprit of all these problems, the cholesterol and everything, is actually now turning out the sugar was the issue. But unfortunately, the guideline for the UK and for many other countries in Europe as well as the state will not change for probably another 10 years, because they need to have study after study, research after research, and it's got peer research, and test this and test the other one. And then there's, of course, there's the issue with the money. So the industry, that's where the problem is. You know, if it's going to cost the industry, going to cost money to a certain industry, then it's not going to be made too much of a public knowledge. My advice to anyone out there is health is the most important thing you have. Yeah. A lot of people, as a personal trainer, I talk to clients all the time, and I see clients going up and down in level of commitments to what they want to achieve. And at the end of the day, it's their goals. They choose how far they want to push it and how much they want to be dedicated to that. But the bottom line is this, guys, is if you haven't got your health, you got nothing. You know, and there is no excuse for not being aware of how your body's working, how you can improve it, and, you know, really track everything. I mean, you don't have to be like me, tracking 400 gadgets, tracking everything, but be aware. You should know what your blood pressure is regularly. You should know, you know, how your body, your blood works, say, regularly. And if your doctor won't do it, just go and do it yourself. I mean, as I say, you online, and if you're not sure who to use online, I use an independent company. They got a lab in Harley Street, so they're a very reputable company. Yes, it costs money, but, you know, let's put it in perspective. How many of you have got Sky? How many of you got mobile phones? Yeah, I mean, that stuff costs a lot of money, but we find the money to pay for that, but yeah, we don't find the money to pay for blood tests. We don't find the money to, you know, for things to track our health, you know, to find out what's right for us, because we don't see that as health is not tangible. It's not like a mobile phone, like a gadget. Is you can't see, you can't feel it, you can't touch it, and therefore it's, yeah, health is important. You know, nothing's going to happen to me. But the reality is, just think about one thing: if you lost your health, if you couldn't get out of bed in the morning, you couldn't go to work, what will happen to your home? What will happen to your income? What will happen to your family? It's all gone. You haven't got your health. You can't forget your Sky. You can't forget your mobile phones. You can't forget the roof over your head. You know, so health should be your priority, and you are in control. You have to be aware of your health, and as I said, everyone is different. You know, you have to find what works for you. It will take trial and error. It takes patience, but once you find what's right for you, you believe me, I mean, I feel 1,000 times better than, you know, when I was following the diet that was wrong for me and I wasn't aware what was going on with me. Have I reached the best diet yet? No, because while I'm feeling great on a zero carb diet at the moment, 6 months into that, all my factors, all my blood tests come back and telling me, yeah, you're doing well. However, my thyroid is not as happy. Yeah, and the reason why my thyroid is not as happy is because I've been doing long fasting. Yeah, because with the ketogenic diet and the zero carb diet, your hunger level drop because carbohydrates what keeps you hungry. Yeah, fat and protein fills you up, so you don't feel quite so hungry. And as an end result, I went from doing intermittent fasting, 12 hours on, 12 hours feed, 12 hours fast, to just having a meal a day, one meal a day, because I'm a big meal a day with lots of meat and now fish as well, but is just one meal a day. And the thyroid, for people who got underactive thyroid or Hashimoto, fasting, long period of fasting are not a good idea. So that is something to change. So I had to decide whether I'm going to have to eat, you know, 2 meals a day and try to eat when I'm not hungry, which goes against everything I say, because I eat when I'm hungry. Yeah, so I don't eat because it's lunchtime, I don't eat because it's breakfast, I don't eat because it's dinner, I eat because I'm hungry. And you gotta start listening to your body. You don't feel right, the doctor tells you there's nothing wrong with you, get another opinion, get some tests done privately. You don't feel hungry, don't eat. You don't have to eat unless you're hungry. Nobody says, you know, there's a lot of people out there saying, oh, if you don't have breakfast your body will slow down. Bullshit. Sorry about that. It's not right. It's not right. The body will ask you food when it needs food. We all got enough fat stored in our body to feed the body forevermore, you know, so you probably will survive without food for a week and the rest, because the body will start using your body fat, you know, to survive. And most of us got more body fat than we ever need anyway. Yeah. So eat when you're hungry. Don't eat because the clock tells you it's 12 o'clock, it's lunchtime, I gotta eat. Yeah, so it's all about becoming self-aware. So whether you use gadgets to help you monitor your heart rate, your blood pressure, you know, your heart rate variability, your sleep or whatever, like I do, I'm a very analytical person. I like to match what I feel with what science tells me. Yeah, the guys just tell me. You don't have to do it. You want to go purely intuitively, so you want to go by how you feel. Perfect, do that. It will make you way, but start listening to your body. Do not override it just because, you know, life is busy. Do not do that. So that's what I want to say to you guys. I hope any of this helps you. If any of you have got any questions, and you know, and any questions about anything that I said or anything to do with that, please feel free to message me. I am a personal trainer, you know, by trade, but I'm also a human being, and you know, I'm more than happy to share whatever I've learned in my, you know, in my experience with both trying different diets and with all the research done on thyroid. And of course, those of you who know me, you know, I'm a specialist in obesity and diabetes, and when it comes to personal training. So any questions about any of these, you know, please, you know, feel free to drop me a direct message on Facebook, or drop me a line, comment under this live, and then I'd be more than happy to help you, guide you towards the right direction. You know, it's all about sharing, trying to help each other here. Have a lovely Saturday. It's sunny today, as you can tell. I had to lower my screen here, otherwise I can't see anything. My eyes don't like the sunlight in the morning. I've got full on day with sessions, so I gotta go now, but I hope you guys have a lovely weekend, and speak to you soon. See you guys.